So you guys, welcome to the Holistic Nutrition Hub's live webinar series mixed with Q&A. So a little bit like a mastermind session, but I'm gonna not only be teaching a bit tonight, but at the end, I'm gonna stay on the live to answer any of the questions you might actually have about this topic. And I promise I tried to make the slides as interesting as possible as well. So tonight is episode 1 of the series where I will be talking about business identity and what it is and why it's important to start with this when you're thinking about beginning or upping your business game. So before I get started on tonight's topic, I really just wanted to do a quick hello to you all and say thanks so much for being here and listening in on this. I really think it's an amazing thing that you're here and taking the time to spend on yourself, your business, and of course, learning something new. So for those of you who follow the Hub, you know that my name is Lynne and I'm the co-founder and lead instructor here at HNH. But for those of you who are just hopping into our community, some other fun facts about me. I'm also a holistic nutritionist. I'm a business coach. I'm a wife to Sean, who you guys often probably see in our group as well. And he also helped me co-found the Hub. I can't leave him out. I'm also the mom of 3 amazing boys. Avery's head is kind of hidden here at the bottom of my screen. They're 6, 11, and 14. So I also have 2 lovely mischievous rabbits, and in my spare time, I'm out in my garden and doing some form of meditation, whether that's through art or yoga or some other form of meditation. Anyways, that's enough about me, but because you guys can't see my face, I thought I would just share a bit about who I am. So let's pop on over to tonight's agenda. So as this is a series, I've purposely put the 8 topics in order of relevance when starting out your business. It's essentially the order that you actually want to be working through and completing the tasks as you grow your business. And this, of course, means that it's only necessary to start with figuring out and knowing what business identity is and what yours is. So I'm going to put a little disclaimer in here. If you already have a business up and running, there's absolutely no harm in following along with this webinar and making sure that you have consistency within this area and are doing all that you can to actually ensure you're showing up for your audience in a consistent way. So tonight we are going to go through what business identity is, why it's so important, who it's actually for, and of course, I'm going to lay out the steps that you need to take in order to get started or refine, as I said. So I've put together a checklist for you all that you can download off of our website. And if you follow tonight's presentation plus use this checklist to further guide yourself, you're actually going to be able to develop a consistent image for your business that's going to help direct any of your future sales and marketing efforts. So don't check out before this is over, because at the end of the presentation, I'll be doing a Q&A through the comments section and answering any of the questions that you might have. So this is why I wish you guys could hop on into this chat session. I'm going to just pop over into my Canva Live. Awesome, you guys are there. So I just want to forgive my screen here. It's going to look kind of funky, but I wanted to ask you guys, who has any idea what business identity is? So you guys, oh, hi, Crystal from Ontario. I recognize a few names on here. So if anybody wants to comment, I assume you guys are all here because you don't really know what the business identity is or why it's important. And that's okay, because I didn't know that for a really long time either. And you guys, please don't be shy. Feel free to comment and all of those things. I'll pop back and forth between the slides that's the only way I can do it, just due to whatever happened at the beginning when we went live. So Business identity is really the process of defining and designing your business identity. And it's a really important one. So your business identity is going to actually transpire through all of your marketing efforts. That means your writing, your colors, your logo, the personality behind it. And it's going to be seen everywhere that your potential customers will be as well. So it's really important to know what you stand for and what your customers and prospects actually see and want. So what is it exactly? Well, the name business identity and business brand are often swapped around depending on who you're speaking with. But business identity and business branding are really one and the same, in my opinion. Your business identity is much like your personal identity, and it's what's going to set you apart from others and also what makes you, well, you obviously. So you are your own brand. You need to be clear on you before doing this work for your business, because your business identity is not only comprised of your logo and other marketing materials, but it also includes like the vision you have set for your business and the mission that you actually want to fulfill through the work that you want to do. So these need to always remain consistent to ensure that your clients and your prospects receive a clear message everywhere that you interact with them. So, guys, I'm sorry, I have a very dry mouth tonight. It's a lot of talking. So, I usually tell my business clients that your business should really be your authentic self, shining through every piece of the work that they produce. So, to maintain a healthy work-life balance, it's important to know what you personally want out of owning and running your business, like your goals and how you want to feel within your business. Or else you're actually not going to progress much further than this point in your business because, well, I'll explain why. So you need to be clear on what gets you fired up and what you want to portray to your prospects. So you need to know what your market is, who you are as a person, what your dreams and aspirations are, as these are going to actually transpire into every piece of work that you do and how you show up for your clients. So this is a question for you guys. Are you ready? Don't be shy this time. I know that there's a few people watching. In all seriousness, like, who gets fired up about the current work that they're doing? I'm popping over to the comment section. Oh, Crystal Beckett. This one is not about our business and what we're selling tonight. We're talking about business identity. It's part of our 8-week series. And yeah, I just wanted to see from you guys who are watching who gets fired up about their work right now. So I'll leave that in for you guys to comment. Awesome. I definitely had that problem and wanted to start a business and help people, but couldn't decide on a niche or how to present myself. Amazing. Okay, so I'll keep going on to the next slide. So this is how I show up most of the time to work. And I can do this because I know how I want my life and my work to actually feel. I want it to feel light and goofy and fun and fulfilling. And knowing that this is what I want in my business, what I want my business to actually be like, it allows me to feel like this in every aspect of my life, especially in my garden. That's where I feel the most at home, obviously. So I really can't stress how important it is to actually deep dive into these questions. So why is this so important? Well, if you aren't clear on what you want and what sets you apart, how are your customers supposed to know what makes you different than any other holistic nutritionist? So, for example, I get asked all the time, what's the difference between Practice Better and the Holistic Nutrition Hub platform? Now, this question could really bother me and make me wonder why I should continue with my work. I could go down imposter syndrome avenue, and if you guys don't know what that means, it means that you don't think you're good enough, you don't know enough. Anyways, I could go down that route and really start to worry about myself. But because I'm clear on who we are as a company and how we're different, this question doesn't actually faze me. And I recognize that my company is different than Practice Better because Sean and I are literally written all over it. And Practice Better can't beat us. So I'm going to give you guys a huge tip here right now. It's probably going to be the biggest one of the night. You're different, and that is what's going to set you apart. That is what's going to sell. That is what is going to make you be able to do this kind of work. All right, I'm taking a sip of water, guys. I wish I could see you. I kind of feel like I can't see you, and interacting is a little bit weird. It's just a screen and my water. Anyways, I'm taking a sip of water and then I'll get into it. So this is where you should really start to brainstorm about all the extra little things that set you apart from your competitors. And honestly, I added this picture in here because I know I make my best decisions in massive high heels, but not really, because that would be very uncomfortable. So you want to be moving onward and upward, guys. So what makes you a superhero to your client? What's going to make them pay the premium to work with you? Why should they give you money for the knowledge that you have, right? Like, why are they going to pay you? You need to know that, because when you're selling yourself, and that sounds really bad, but when you're selling your packages and you're selling your programs, you need to be able to tell the customer why. And this is where knowing what your unique skill set or experiences you have can transfer through into your business and make you the one that actually stands out in the bunch. It's literally going to set you apart from the others. It's so important, you guys, that to know who you are and what your skills are, that I'm going to come back to it again right here. So whether you guys sit with this question during the entire webinar or afterwards, I really do want you to sit with that question for a really long time, because your business identity will often feel like a gut feeling or an instinct, a push, an interest, whatever it is. It's most likely something that has been there since the very beginning of you actually starting your nutrition journey. So knowing your business identity and what makes you unique is actually going to influence your unique target audience in turn. And your clients are easily going to be able to find you because of it. So who already knows their unique qualities in their business and who they want to be in their business? Come back over. Oh, fired up to help people. Yes, Krista. Yeah, I get to help people today, and I get to write about something amazing. I enjoy my job. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Taking time off for me. Amazing. I'm so glad that you guys are on here commenting. So I'm going to leave this again. You guys tell me what your unique qualities are that you think that you've got figured out already. And I'm going to pop over and continue. So you guys sit with that while I chat. So for me, I already know what makes my uniqueness. It comes from being slightly goofy. I've got loads of experience working in administration and business. I've started 3 nutrition businesses already. So not only have I been right where you guys are right now, this is just like where your clients are going to relate to you as well. I have unique experience from managing companies. I sold cars, you guys, for a while, really pregnant. I was very pregnant. I worked in advertising for a green grocer, and, I worked in offices. Well, I worked in the office at the Canadian School of Natural Nutrition while I was instructing there too. So those are just a few of the skills that make me unique to this area to be teaching you guys what business identity is. So by knowing yourself and your business identity, you're going to be able to clearly answer who your customers are. And this is the part that's going to transfer through all of your marketing, your messages, the campaigns, videos. And yes, you guys should be doing videos. I know it makes some people a little bit nervous, but you should be. And then you have to ask yourself, how does one define their customer base? So what questions do you need to be aware of? Like, who are they? How do they identify? What's their personality and life like? What are some of their challenges that you're going to help them with and to help them overcome? And then on top of these, we need to actually be in tune to understanding their interests, like to understanding, their interests, and then also understanding where they live, what's their income, like how much money are they likely to be earning. This is going to help you price out your services. If you're working in a place where you can't be charging $150 an hour, you need to know that. Where to find them on the internet, and what their goals are. So your clients honestly just want help from you. There's nothing more that they want from you. And so the more you know them, the more you can actually speak their language and get across to them the answers that they are looking for. And I'm not going into too much detail on niche tonight and your customer base because this is actually next week's webinar topic. So definitely make sure that you know what your unique skill sets and market are so that you can really hone in on your niche when you follow the webinar next week. So we're going to do just a quick recap in point form on what I just covered before moving on to the how-to portion of the webinar, obviously. So number one, you guys need to dig deep and get to know yourself. What do you love about when it comes to coaching, nutrition, to health, to wellness? Like what gets you literally fired up? That's number two. You need to know what gets you fired up and what you want your business to look like. And then number three, you're going to brainstorm. And I mean really brainstorm. Like get a marker, scribble all over a giant piece of paper, and figure out what makes you unique. And then I want you to define your customers and their unique qualities. And lastly, just remember that you most likely are much like your customer, or at least you're going to have that unique skill set that helps you really relate to them. And so these steps are going to be like the compass for building and growing your business and your company. So I know you guys are all wondering, how the heck do I make this happen? And I'm obviously forgetting some things. Yes, the steps on, on going forward. So being honest and sharing your journey and your story are actually one of the best marketing tools that you have at your fingertips. So you don't actually have to be a good storyteller. You don't have to be fantastic at it. You just honestly need to be true and, honest. So to help you remember these steps, I'm actually going to relate everything back to me and my experience, so that you guys have something tangible to relate it all to and see what I mean when I'm talking about it. So number one, you're going to define a personality for your business. So that means, I love this first picture. It cracks me up. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at my own photos. Anyways, make a list of characteristics that's going to correspond to your personality and your business identity. I think I've nailed it here, guys, with picture number one. So are you a bit goofy and playful like me? Or maybe you're a little bit girly and you let it come through in your work as well. Or perhaps you're like Charlie Chaplin and you're the silent type, but you have a way of snagging people's attention with your unique character. And this ultimately is going to help you just create a strong connection with your audience by sounding genuine in everything that you do and say online. And it makes you real and relatable to your audience. So do you guys have any clue what one of the characteristics are that you want your business to have? that's not a, like, this is a time for comments, not a time for just me asking the question. So characteristics that you want to have in your business. I've obviously have put through being goofy and silly and fun, and lighthearted, but I also want to be generous and caring and be listening to my people. So you guys fire in some characteristics that you guys want to see in your business. I'm hopping over to the comments. There will be, Karen, the opportunity to rewatch. Yes. You will have to hop into the Facebook community, though. We are not going to be keeping it on the main page. So make sure you go over to the Holistic Nutrition Hub community. Minimum wage, I'm just looking. I'm going to answer some of the questions at the end and continue onward. All right, so number 2, you're going to choose your business name. So you want to pick a name for your business. It should be easy to spell and rememberable, while simply conveying what your business identity is. You guys also fire in your business names if you have it. I'm going to keep going with the presentation, but I want to see some comments about ideas, even if it's not the perfect name. We can talk about it at the end and maybe find something that, gets you fired up and gets me fired up. I am fired up right now. So I decided to create the hub, honestly, to help other nutritionists and provide them with support, resources, and tools that I actually wish I had when I started. And so, in a way, it's really a business hub for all holistic nutritionists. I know, it's so simple, it's easy to remember, and it really actually speaks to what our mission is as a company. So, the Holistic Nutrition Hub. So that's what I mean when it needs to be easy and rememberable. Number 3, choose the colors that are best going to represent your business identity. So this picture here of the palette colors on the left side are actually style sets that Canva provides. If you guys haven't heard of Canva, that's what I'm on right now, obviously, to present this to you. So they present these pre-done styles for you for the non-techie type folks or the non-design type folks. And this really makes it simple to find what you like best, what fits with your personality and the actual character of your business as well. So we started off with our signature purple and green, which actually come from my first business logo. Like, how long ago would that have been? 5 years ago or more. And now I've actually started to include some of the orange and the lighter earthier green, which you'll have seen probably thrown in the slides throughout the presentation. And then number 4, you're going to want to design your logo. And yes, it might sound really daunting to you guys, but it's really not that hard to design a logo. They're really quite simple. I mean, we all know that we recognize these ones. We have Canva, Twitter, and Facebook, and I threw the Holistic Nutrition Hub one in there just to be funny. But if this is really not your jam and you're like feeling super overwhelmed about it, of course, you can always hire somebody to do all of this for you as well. But if I know my target market as well as I should, I know that the cost of hiring somebody to do this kind of work for you is probably just too much for the majority of our followers. And so I really do suggest, using Canva or something like that. So here's my logo on the left side. That was from my original nutrition business from 2016. And I had my colors and even my slogan, eat well to live better. And so you can see like the purple and green has really been part of my businesses for a really long time. You really just want to make sure that your logo uses your colors and conveys your business identity in a really simple and understandable way. and also that it has a bit of personality to it. So, like I said, this one on the left is my original business logo. And in 2017, when I stopped consulting, I started the hub and we changed that logo from In Touch Nutrition to the Holistic Nutrition Hub logo. And you can see I kept the color, but we brightened it up a bit. And, I chose something playful and fun with yin and yang and earth, like the leaves, and the little person. So there's personality to it, is essentially what I'm getting at. And then if you guys were wondering what the little pink logo is up in the top corner, that's actually my logo that I made from Prepped with Love. And you can see the green is thrown in there too, but it's still fun and cheerful and kind of bubbly, which I think that's what my personality is. But anyways, that's how my logos kind of came to be. So you guys are going to want to think about those things when you're creating your logos. Now, number 5, where are you showing up? And I mean, like, where are you showing up? It's actually about creating a list of all the platforms and the opportunities that you'd actually like to be a part of with your business, and know how your business identity is going to integrate into them. So the first thing you're going to want to be thinking about is social media profiles. So in the comments, where do you guys normally hang out on social media? I want to know where you guys are usually at, because I think I know where you guys are at. Comment in the comment section and I'll flip over there in just a second to see if anybody has commented. I'm hoping to ask you guys a question on each one of these slides, so you guys get ready to answer. All right, so the number 2 thing of where you want to be is website. Are you guys going to have one? Are you going to start one? You guys should really have a website. It's very important in your business, but what's it going to look like and how is it going to feel? So note here, I just want to throw this in as another pointer. You can see here I added in that little bit of orange that I said we've started adding into our material on social media. So your website is really like your online business card and sales page. And so it really needs to sell the real you and what you're actually about. Who's got a blog? I mean, I think all nutritionists probably start with a blog, at least a recipe blog and a sales page. So if you love writing, it can actually be a really great way to connect with your following and show your story and your personality through it. So if you are going down this route, like, what's your blog going to look like? How's it going to sound? How is it going to feel for the reader and yourself? Are you expressing yourself? Are you sharing knowledge? How is that going to look? And of course, if you aren't into blogging, video, throwing it in there again, you guys, video is another great choice. That's going to be what is going to hit. Well, it's already hitting, you guys. That's where you want to be, for your people. I'm going to check over at the comments and see if anybody answered my question just a minute ago. Website with a blog. Yes, I've written blog posts for other organizations, but not developed a blog. Super simple. I am planning on having a website. Yes, excellent. One in the works. You guys are rocking it. Instagram, Facebook groups, sometimes Twitter, email. Oh, yes. Okay, I knew you guys hung out there. That's exactly where we hang out. That's where we put all our stuff, is mostly on Instagram and Facebook. And so that's kind of where I'm talking about. You guys need to be thinking about where you're showing up. Where is your main audience living on the internet? You guys are doing great with comments. Please keep them coming. It makes it much more fun for me while I'm presenting this topic. So networking, is it for you? Ooh, I don't know about you, but when I first started out, I don't know. I'm not a huge, believe it or not, I'm not a huge people person in crowds. So it's really hard for me to go networking. But there's a lot of ways that you can do it. You can do it online in communities, workshops, hosting classes like this, online webinars. And no, I swear I'm not showing my face because I'm like scared to show you guys. It's just that this is just Facebook Live for you. Anyways, you can join a professional association that meets up. But I actually really recommend going to a networking group that's a local community, because it really does push you outside of your comfort zone and kind of gives you that push to get this marketing material that I'm talking about kind of going. And it also really helps with public speaking and I don't know, so many other things. I found it really valuable to be part of like a Toastmasters situation just so that I could get better at public speaking. And then lastly, oh, who hates public speaking? I just have to ask that question because I feel like most of us do. Not your strong suit. Yes. Yes. See, I know. Ladies who lunch. I like that. Is that like a local thing or is it kind of all over Canada? Ladies who lunch. I like that one. Anyways, I'm continuing. I love your comments though, so I'm excited for your questions at the end. Then lastly, you guys want to be thinking about your email signature, your phone message, what are your Instagram handles going to be, your Facebook name. All of those things are things that you do need to think about. So once you have figured out steps 1 through 4, that means colors, personality, the logos that you've created, they're going to be like the basis of your branding and what it's going to look like. So by figuring out where you are literally showing up, you have the roadmap of what you need to create next. And you can go on to create the necessary logos and banners for your website, your Instagram images, your Facebook banners, etc. And of course, that's going to be with your personality written all over it. I want to see like colors that you love, you know, the feeling that you have when you're working in your business, because that's what's going to really get your clients fired up to work with you. Okay, so hold on, don't go. We still have the Q&A portion to come in just a minute, but I really wanted to make sure that you get to ask me anything that you like about what I went over tonight. But I wanted to just remind you to hop on over to the Holistic N Hub on Instagram and grab your business identity checklist. It's in the link in the bio. I believe it's the second one down in the link tree. And I don't know if it's linked to our website yet. So definitely just hop over to Instagram. Anybody who was listening tonight, I'll make sure you guys get it if you send me a message. And we're going to be sending out the recording as well. So to do all of this stuff that I recommend, and I really want this checklist to kind of be like homework for you guys. I know, fun. But in fact, like I want you guys to grab this checklist, hop into Canva, get thinking about these questions that I've given you tonight, and actually start ticking the boxes off on this checklist, because all you have to do is just get moving, you guys. If you guys want to have a business, all you do is put one foot in front of the other, and then eventually you have one. Sounds really simple, but I'm serious. So Canva actually is like the number one place that I would recommend that people with a small business who don't have a huge budget actually go and create all of these things. So I've done this whole presentation here. We do the majority of all of our posts and banners and Facebook. Anything that you see from me being posted on the internet is made in Canva. So also stay tuned because next week, and I should be starting right on time next week if all doesn't fail like it did this time. So next week we're going to be talking about getting niched, which means, you know, really honing in on who your customers are going to be, what your specialty is. And so that's why I said doing this kind of homework with the checklist is super important, because it's going to really help you understand what I'm talking about next week. And you'll be able to, again, pick up the checklist from next week and move on and, you know, solidifying this business. And then one more quick thing before the Q&A, I just wanted, for those who are listening who haven't heard about my mentorship program coming up. It's a mentorship mixed mastermind. So what it is it's 4 times 1.5 hour workshops where you'll be hanging out with me and a group of other nutritionists. And I'm going to be teaching for about an hour in there. And then we'll be doing kind of a mastermind session to work through the homework for the next week. Included in that, you guys get my Holistic Nutrition Business Foundations course, which is super in-depth. You get the meal planning course that I've created as well. You'll get a $100 discount off to the Holistic Nutrition Hub platform. And yes, just like these lovely webinars, I'm going to be giving you weekly homework in this mentorship program, accountability, and you guys will have worksheets to work through. So this is valued at over $700, you guys, and I'm offering it only for $99. So you guys get all of that with me for 4 weeks, and it starts October 21st. So anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know, just in case you guys hadn't seen that yet. And now I'm going to pop on back over and do the Q&A portion with you guys. All right, I'm gonna try and, how cool is this that it goes like, there's like a tunnel of Facebook Lives down the thing. Sorry, I got distracted. All right, I'm going to read. You guys can just see me, I'm reading. Just read, join Toastmasters. Awesome, but you're fighting through that, and I really like that. You guys fire your questions. I'm gonna just go through this probably for, well, a good 10 minutes. Meetup is a great idea. Toastmasters. I think it's a local chapter of a big picture. Yeah, so there's like Business Networking International. That was a big one. There's Toastmasters. Quite often, no matter where you live, especially if you're in a big city, you can find groups on Facebook. I'm in Switzerland, you guys. I don't know if you guys know that, but I moved here about 1.5 years ago. And there's, you know, a group on Facebook called Coffee and Bubbles. And so we just drink coffee and bubbles and go out and meet up, and that really helps too. Video nutrition lessons, yes. I started with elementary school kids too, Krista, with teaching for, oh man, what's the name? Anyways, I forget, it'll come back to me. As for phone message, be a good idea to get another phone just for business. You know what? Honestly, I kept the same phone. Like, I kept the same phone number as my personal one, and I just changed my personal message to my business, because whoever is calling you that loves you is not gonna care unless you really want to keep it separate. But often you can get 2 numbers on one cell phone or one landline. It depends on how you want to do it. But honestly, for cost sake, I usually just recommend that you use your personal line. You can write it off then in your business as a sole proprietor as well. Sorry, I should say write it off as an expense as a sole proprietor as well. Do you have any tips on how to find out more details of your target client? If you still have questions after I send out the checklist or after you pick it up off the website, definitely the target client, we're going to be talking in more detail next week on the niche one. So maybe pop back in next week too, and you'll have loads more about targeting clients and finding your niche. I was going to say though, if you still have questions after that one, definitely reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer any more questions that you have specifically for yourself. I was wondering that too. She uses her personal phone and she uses it more for business. Yeah, that's really what ended up happening for me too. I never talk on the phone. I usually just text people. So having 2 phones is silly. And then who wants 2 phones? I mean, that's 2 phones to drop in the toilet. Whew, I would have a problem. Is it worth buying into Facebook ads such as boosting your posts? Okay, so that's a really good question. There is so much to be done before even thinking about your Facebook ads as a whole. But yes, they are really valuable in if you know how to use them and you take some time to kind of learn a bit about them. But you do need to take the steps in figuring out who your target audience is and how that's going to affect your post. Because when you go into Facebook and you're creating an ad, for instance, you have to pick out your target audience with location, age range, their interests. And so that's why knowing all of this stuff, like I said tonight, is super important. I'll tell you right now, I know you guys to a T. Our market is between the ages of 24 and 45. And most of our followers are in Vancouver, Ottawa, and Toronto. And I know you guys are interested in wellness and holistic nutrition. And so when I create a Facebook ad, I'm able to say all of those things because I've taken the time to figure that out about our followers. And so that's why I said this is really number one. Business identity is number one, and knowing your clients is number two, which, like I said, we'll talk about next week. So that's why, I say this has to be done first, and then getting all of the proper things up and going, because your website, your social media, that all has to kind of be up and moving before you put any posts out, or when they arrive at your website, there's not going to be really much there to get them, fired up. So these are kind of, I would say, get through the 8-week webinar series and maybe like the mentorship program, and you should be at a stage where you could get Facebook ads going. So I've looked up holistic nutrition in my health. There's one doctor, naturopath, within 45 minutes of me. Oh, okay, clueless as to who to network with. Ooh, okay. Wow, I wonder where you're located. You said, I think earlier, that you're in a really poor town. I don't think there's any harm in hopping on the phone with that naturopath. Is it 45 minutes driving? I know that I had another client who was somewhere up in the boonies in Ontario, and the closest town she had, with a nutritionist or a naturopath, and it was like 3 hours away or something like that. And so she actually just spent one day working in the clinic 3 hours away, and then worked online the rest of the time. So just because you're in a small town doesn't mean that you can't work either in a town over from you or start your business online. There's lots and lots to be done online right now. So many people are at home. So many people are worried about their health. And honestly, it's one of the best ways, I think, to work. Obviously, that I'm here doing it with you guys right now. So Crystal, you asked what currency is the $99? It's in Canadian. So that's $99 Canadian. There are almost zero doctors. Oof. Well, that makes you even more important, I think, in the area that you're in. You can really help people in that area. It doesn't have to be an arm and a leg. You could host, workshops that are affordable for people. Often when you're doing group sessions, the affordability is much easier for those people if you're doing it in a group section or session. Anyways, any other questions? I want to give you guys a little bit more time. So I'm going to stay on here for another 4 minutes and 10 seconds until we hit 50 minutes on here. But I'll keep an eye on the chat box. And yeah, you guys just stay tuned. I want to hear how you guys found the presentation. Did it answer some of your questions? Was I missing something? Whatever it is, I'm here for you. All right. Yeah, awesome. I'm glad that you're into that idea, Karen. I think it would really, I'm sure there's some other ideas, cooking classes or something that will really help. I would love to provide feedback on your logo, Crystal. Yes, please send it to me in either a private message or hop onto the website and contact us through there. My private email, you guys are going to get it, Lynne at holisticnutritionhub.ca. So Crystal, you can fire that over to me and I would be happy to take a look at it. No problem. Awesome. I am gonna just do you guys a favor here and see if I can pull up the link to the checklist that I was blabbing so much about. Give me one sec here. I'm just going to find it. I'll throw it into the comment section so that you guys have it, and then we'll hop off the call. You guys get those last questions in while I dig around for this link. Thanks, Crystal. That's really sweet of you. I try. That's well, I really don't try. It just comes out. It took a long time for me to become comfortable actually with how weird I was and bubbly and fun and really own it. I always used to kind of hide under it. So I appreciate that comment very much. Okay. I'm working on this, guys. Takes a long time. Copy link. Whew. All right. I also have never, just so you guys know, I've never done a presentation like this. I usually do it through Zoom, so Facebook Live is a little bit different for me. All right. Here's my crazy notepad for you guys. I'm going to copy it into here for you. All right. There you go. Hopefully you guys can click on that. If it doesn't work, please let me know. Voila. Nice. Okay, you guys hop in there and grab that checklist. It will walk you through everything that we talked about tonight, everything that, yeah, it's going to walk you through everything that I talked about tonight with a lovely checklist, a little bit of notes to remind you. If you guys get stuck along the way, send me a message and I'd be happy to help you. And yeah, whoever, excellent. Thanks, Crystal, for checking that. And yeah, I really hope that you guys come in and hang out with me next week on the webinar. This was super fun. I really enjoyed it, and I really appreciate you guys with like so much gratitude. I'm so thankful that you guys were here to listen to my webinar tonight. So anyways, you guys have a fantastic morning, day, night, wherever you guys are, and hopefully we'll see you back next week. Anyways, bye.